All right, guys, so here's a tip for breeding African greys. So a few years back, I had a pair of African greys that were continuously laying infertile eggs. They were mating successfully 3 times a day for the first 30 days of their breeding cycle. And when they came time for them to lay eggs, they were always infertile. So what I did was I changed things up with the nest in order to get them in sync with each other. And I got this tip from Tony Silva. So what I did was I began to get wood blocks, and I took the nest box here and I filled the nest box up with wood. So we're going to go ahead and open this up right here. And you can use a boot box, you can use a grandfather. Some people like to use the apartment boxes. I've had success with boot boxes and grandfathers. So there's what I did. I took the wood, I started to pile up the nest with wood. Fill it up with wood, right? And I'm not just talking this amount. You want to fill it up probably up to about here. And the reason why we do that is because it allows the pair to work together to prepare their nest. So in the wild, they don't get a nest with shavings in it. They have to actually prepare it themselves. The female's not going to lay until the nest is prepared. So I fill up the nest with wood and they work together, chewing down the wood, grinding down the wood, making their nesting material. And once the nest is complete and the nest is ready, they begin to mate. And after they mate, they begin to lay eggs. So after I tried this method, I filled the wood up to about here. They chewed all the wood down to shreds of wood, to almost shavings. And I got my first 2 fertile eggs from that pair. So sometimes you have to put a roadblock in the way. You can't just leave a nest ready-made and prepared for them. You have to allow them to do the hard work and to build their nest. And that gets them into sync when it comes to breeding. And the female will ovulate. At the same time, the male is ready to fertilize those eggs, because chewing inside of the nest, chewing the wood, breaking down these pieces of wood, it allows the male's gonads to swell. So his testes begin to swell as he's in a dark area such as the nest, chewing on this wood here. And as his testes begin to swell, the mating commences a few days or a few weeks later, and it in turn increases fertility. So that's a great thing that you want to use for the larger parrots. You want to put some wood into the nest, allow them to chew and prepare their own nest. Another thing I do here is look at this hole. This hole is roughly 3.5 inches in diameter. Now, many people will say this is pretty small for African greys, but I do that purposely because they have to chew it. They have to open it up a bit more so that they're able to go in and out of the nest. Right now, I don't think an adult African gray could go inside this hole. So that's why we get a smaller hole here, and I personally do this, so the male and female can continue to enlarge it. And when I provide this to some of my pairs, they'll probably enlarge it to about here. They'll open that up quite well, and then they'll begin to go inside and find that they need to prepare the nest with the wood chunks as well. So I'm putting my pairs to work. Whenever you have a pair that's bored, it may result in infertile eggs because they have nothing to do. You want to get them busy. You want to get them inside of a dark hole, chewing, preparing, grinding, getting things ready. So then when the female ovulates, the male is ready. He's invigorated from all this preparation, and he fertilizes those eggs for you. So I want you to try that. If you're having infertile eggs with your pair, I want you to give them a break of 2 or 3 months. Maybe 2 months, give them a break. Take the nest down. And then put the nest back up, fill it up with wood, and allow them to go to work. Let me know if that works.